Today, we'll be talking about Iceland, and I'll share with you my 2-day itinerary to cover the southern coastline of Iceland. The best way to make sure you see everything Iceland has to offer is to have enough time to drive the ring road. Also known as Route 1, the 820-mile coastal road loops around Iceland. You literally drive around the whole country. However, if you don't have enough time, then you reach the right place. In this video, I'm going to focus on my drive from Reykjavik to Jökulsárlón and back. I chose not to cover the Golden Circle on this drive as there are day tours from Reykjavik that one can book to cover the Golden Circle. Besides, I wanted to make sure I see both the Glacier Lagoon and the Diamond Beach. The trip can also be done in a day, but I would advise taking your time with it as it includes quite a bit of driving. Our first stop, Seljalandsfoss. The highlight of Seljalandsfoss is that you can walk behind the waterfall. However, the trek is quite slippery, so be careful. Seljalandsfoss has a few other waterfalls around it which are worth exploring if you have the time. A short distance from Seljalandsfoss is the spectacular Skógafoss, one of the biggest waterfalls in the country with a width of 25 meters and a drop of 60 meters. Due to the amount of spray, the waterfall consistently produces a single or double rainbow which is normally visible on sunny days.
I hear the shouting from the voices of a generation. But there's a diamond ring, but I'm not on my knees. I think I might just need a few more months of therapy. Shout it from the mountain if you believe. I see miles and miles of kingdom, but there's no castle, there's no queen, just a soldier on an open road. I see all the lonely people hand in hand inside my dreams, where there's a picture of a perfect world.
Our next stop is the dramatic Sólheimasandur Plane Wreck. A United States plane crashed on the dark beach at Sólheimasandur in 1973, and the remains are still on the sand very close to the sea. One important thing to take into consideration is that the actual plane wreck is an hour hike one way from the parking lot. So make sure you have enough time to get to the plane wreck before sunset.
And if I play this game, then maybe I'll be king. A shadow from the mountain, 'cause I believe.
I drove through the night to reach my hostel near Jökulsárlón, where we saw the northern lights from the hostel backyard at midnight. You don't really need to pay for a tour to see the northern lights. You can download one of the many apps where you can track the northern lights. As long as you know how to read the app and drive yourself around, you don't need a tour. The next morning I woke up to the view of the glacier. It is one of the most peaceful mornings I have experienced. From here, we start day 2 and our journey back towards Reykjavik. My first stop was Europe's largest glacier, Vatnajökull.
No matter where I've been, no matter where I stand, I hear the shouting from the voices of a generation.
The Vatnajökull Glacier parking lot is right next to the Glacier Lagoon. Diamond Beach is across the street. I booked an ice cave tour where I got a chance to walk on the glacier as well as see what an ice cave looks like. I would strongly recommend making reservations for this early as it gets quite busy. We spent a total of about an hour on the glacier in the ice cave. Once back down, I spent a good chunk of my afternoon around the dreamy Glacier Lagoon. A cloud cover can make the Glacier Lagoon even more gorgeous as the icebergs turn blue. The icebergs that melt from the glacier into the lagoon eventually flow out to the beach, where they leave small pieces of ice on the beach to form a sight that is unparalleled to any I have ever seen. A beach full of diamonds that's melting away. For the rest of the journey, I drove back to Reykjavik as the sun disappeared below the horizon. These 2 days were probably the best 36 hours I have spent traveling. Now that you know how to cover most of the southern coast in 2 days, here are some additional tips and things you can do. My first step is to decide when you want to go to Iceland. My primary reason was to see the northern lights, and so I went during the winters. But I think summer is a better time to go to Iceland. You won't see the northern lights, but days will be endless. Literally. Second tip, don't make hotel bookings until you've planned your itinerary. I locked myself in Reykjavik and eventually ended up making an additional reservation in Jökulsárlón, so I didn't have to drive over 10 hours in one day. You'll notice Iceland's stunning beauty is in the countryside, and you'd want to spend most of your time on the road. Tip number 3. While you'll spend most of your nights on the road, you should spend a couple of nights in Reykjavik. Reykjavik is a vibrant and urban city with bustling nightlife. My fourth tip is to not rush your trip and limit driving to a few hours a day. Iceland is as much about the journey as it is about the destination. Stop if you see something you like and soak in the beauty. Tip number 5. Everyone who goes to Iceland goes to the Blue Lagoon. Make your reservations early, as the lagoon is quite busy and you may not get a reservation later. Go during the daytime. It just doesn't feel the same once it's dark. If you are feeling adventurous, snorkel in Silfra, which is a fissure between the North American and Eurasian tectonic plates with more than 100-meter visibility. And that's it. Thank you for checking out my video. If you enjoyed it, please like and subscribe for more amazing travel videos.